Hi, I'm Barbara Cutrera, and today I'd like to talk with you about how I write a book. Everybody is different. Each author has their own method and their own practices that they prefer. I personally am an organic writer, meaning I do not outline. I do not sit down and write out my plots and do outlines and this, that, and the other thing. And my characters, I don't do detailed biographies of my characters before I start writing. I usually get an idea either of a scene, a storyline, a theme, a particular character, and that triggers my creativity. And I sit down and I just start writing. And it's a wonderful, freeing experience. I really, really enjoy it when the creative juices are flowing because I don't feel stilted. I don't feel like I have to follow some sort of a formula or a format. I just write, and for whatever reason, I'm very thankful to my muse that it all flows out and comes together. The story lines just work themselves out. I am amazed sometimes at different books where I might have mentioned something, it just came out of me, and I'm going along in the book, and then later in the book I'm like, oh, what should I do with that? And I'm like, back in chapter 3 I did such and such, that's the perfect answer, and I foreshadowed the answer to the crime back in chapter 3 without even realizing it. So, but my brain must have realized it because it was perfect. So I really like that. I like that feel. I think personally that I would feel stilted if I had to write an outline, like for a college paper or something. But that is simply the way I prefer to write. Other people who are magnificent writers outline, and that's the way they do their best writing. They like to really structure it. I do sometimes make some sort of a notes to myself. That doesn't happen very often, but especially with certain series, I might have to make some sort of a timeline after book 1 because I don't want to get things confused with people's ages. Or for instance, in my Essential Elements series, which I'm currently writing, this is 2016. I don't know when this one will come out because I have so many books in queue to be released at the moment. But that is a paranormal romance series. And I had to draw a diagram because of the way the houses are laid out and the paranormal aspect, which involved a pentacle, which is a star with a circle around it, and the elements involved. So I had to actually draw out the map for the homestead so that I could keep it straight in my head which person with which element is living at which point of the star, so that I could keep that straight. Not for the first book because I created it in the first book, but in the later books. So I have completed book 2, so as I move on to book 3, I can look back at that little map and say, oh yeah, Sawyer lives in that house, and oh, when he goes to see Beck, he lives in that house, etc., etc. So as I said, there is no right way or wrong way. There's whatever way works best for the author. I personally, that's the style I use for every book. I'm sure certain authors use outlining for some books and organic writing for other books. My way is the organic way. And I enjoy it, and I find it very fulfilling, and I find it works great for me and my storylines and my characters, and I'm so thankful for that. But whatever way, if you are trying to write a book, play around with it. If you're finding that organic writing is not working for you, make an outline. Maybe sit down and write out detailed biographies of each of the characters or places or things like that. That's all fine. Whatever works for you and makes you a better writer and makes things easier and improves your writing and your storylines, go for it. So that is how I write, and I hope that you are having a great day. Happy reading.